explaining that several years back, there was an athlete who was in the mix the same time I was, and she was just so we sort of knew each other tangentially, and she went on to row on the national team level and has an Olympic medal, and um, she got diagnosed with breast cancer, and she reached out and she was like, I want to throw everything I can at this. What does yoga bring to the table? Can we take some time together? And so I started doing some research on yoga and cancer recovery. And there's really frustratingly little direct research on yoga and anything. It gets lumped in with all of the mindfulness practices. I think honestly, because researchers are fairly precise people, and like yoga really does, it just squirms out of any clear definition that would like lend itself to like a do this but don't do that. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't even the yoga is one of those fields where anyone who pretends to who says I got this is full of shit. Keep going, find the next person. There's like a certain amount of humility in it, but anyway. But what I did find was a heavy link between quality of life and cancer recovery, and the NIH honors several definitions of quality of life. And this is the part where this is how we make our day better. The first one that popped to mind was the multidimensional and subjective experience of well-being. So one's multidimensional and subjective experience of well-being. Another one they commonly used is the gap between the expectation and the experience of the person. So quality of life can be described as the gap between your expectation of your day and your actual experience of your day. And both of those definitions require kind of a yogic mind, right? Because it acknowledges this sort of soft, it's not like a direct one-to-one. If X happens, you're going to have a good day. It's if X happens and X is what you expected to happen, you're going to have a good day. What if X happens but you expected Z? You know what I mean? Then it's like a bad day. So the way you frame your day matters very much. And then the same thing with the mention of subjectivity. Another word for subjective is like perspective, and perspective is lens, and we do a lot of that work. So I was thinking about the gap between your expectations and your experience of the day. And I was thinking about, well, what's the difference between like hope and expectation? Because like you can hope you have a good day, but if you expect to have a good day, and there's probably a lot of places we could go with that, but the first one that came to mind is that hope has space in it and expectation really doesn't. Like you rarely, when someone says that they hope something, there's usually option. I hope either blah or blah or blah, or like I hope somebody somewhere something. Like hope is spacious. I expect is not spacious. There's no space there. So I thought we would start with some space and see if we can't bring just take a little air out of whatever you expect from today. Just soften it up, put a little space, a little fluidity into it. So grab onto your knees, press down through your butt bones, soften, just melt from the ear down the side of the neck, out the top of the shoulders. Just see if you can turn that space into taffy. Relax that down. Ears just soften down like Robert De Niro, with long Grandpa Bozzarelli ears.